Lisa Berry is joining me today as my beautiful co-host. Lisa, welcome, welcome.
Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. Let's have a song.
Let's have a song and get this party started.
I'll track us down.
I love the words to the song.
Life is a winding road, no telling where it goes. Driving through days and nights, won't stop for traffic lights. And I really wanna know if I'll ever figure out where the road goes. Even if I'm falling down, I will keep on searching for my highs. You can say I lost my mind, I will keep on holding my head high. Even if the sky is falling down. Jumping from cliffs so high, trusting our wings to fly. Sometimes we're crashing down, but we get up and start from the ground. And I really wanna know if I'll ever figure out where the road goes. Even if I'm falling down, I will keep on searching for my highs. You can say I lost my mind, I will keep on holding my head high. Even if the sky is falling down, even if the sky is falling down, yeah. The sky is falling down.
All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome. We have Christine and Melanie and Stacy saying hello to us. Hello, hello. And again, welcome. Lisa, I am so grateful for you. I'm so glad you're here with me.
Thank you so much. And I love that you did that song because right now, of course, I have little theme areas that I was like, oh, we could totally talk about gratitude in those three worlds. Okay.
I know, right? I love that song so much. I found it a few weeks ago, and just listening to the words of it, that's totally me right now on my journey. It's like, it doesn't matter what's going on the outside. You know, the sky could be falling down. I'm going to still be going and trucking along and searching for those high moments, because this whole journey has been one high moment for me.
I imagine somebody like swimming and you're holding your head up, just give me enough. Like, I know I'm sinking. Maybe there's things around me, but if I can just keep it up enough, and I can do this.
Absolutely. Yeah. I pushed myself a couple of times with how long I was on the road. And every time it was like, all right, angels, I know I can get to that last few miles and get to where I'm going. And that was kind of me today. I was like, all right, I'm going to push it and see if I can get there. But I had to pull over. So that's why I'm in my car, for all of you wondering, where the heck is Teri Angel today?
On the road again.
Absolutely. And actually, I am in Palm Springs, California. I'm going to be here for a couple of days, and I get to see some amazing people. I'm so excited about the visit here to Palm Springs and hanging out here for a few days before I go back to Paso Robles, where I'm home based right now here in California.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. So that's your little update on the journey and on the Peace on Earth tour. except some of you have already heard my very exciting news. And I am just so thrilled that yesterday I was accepted as I have a fiscal sponsorship from We the World. And so I will be under their nonprofit umbrella, and they will be sharing out the journey far and wide and helping me with fundraising and everything to get this journey really going strong and going further and wider. So I'm so excited about that and just amazed at the way the angels are just opening up things for me, because this has been a prayer of mine, is to get the message out there farther that we do have peace on earth. We just have to enlighten more people about the fact that it is here and get more people involved in sharing out with each other love, joy, happiness, and of course, peace on our planet. So Lisa, I couldn't be more thrilled and more uplifted. And I love your energy, your uplifting, your high vibration. And it's exactly what I needed to match my vibration today. I was like, oh yes, let's party. Let's make this a really great gratitude hour today.
Oh, well, first of all, I want to celebrate in that moment with you because, you know, whether somebody out there is searching for support, sponsorship, or to share a journey, you know what that means to me. There was a line in the song, and I had to write it down, was trusting in your wings to fly. And I do believe that when people, communities or businesses or whichever they want, what is the word? Messages come together to support and say, oh, well, you're doing this, you know, like you're traveling the world, you're traveling land, you are having some coverage, you need those wings, right? And somebody else, and you might go, oh, I don't know, is this wing strong enough? And then somebody says, of course, let me throw a little wind under there for you. This is the coming together. And I think this is when I think of what peace on earth can be. It doesn't mean everything's perfect. It doesn't mean tomorrow may not have its challenges. It does mean, though, that right now we're coming together and having faith and having trust in what is, and we're not flying with our wings blindly. We're really trusting. Right?
Yes. So much of this journey, Lisa, has been trust. It has been absolute blind faith, because somebody asked me the other day, well, do you have a map? And I'm like, no, I really don't. I don't know what point B is going to be once I get to point A. It's like just trusting that I know that they are guiding this and that I'm hearing everything correctly, and everything is just falling into place. It's like those puzzle pieces just fit right together when I trust. When I try to do it, oh no, everything falls apart. It's like it doesn't work.
Well, you might have an element of control there that actually, and that's really helpful for people to hear and understand, because when we throw in that control, and I don't mean that we want to have our support and be as prepared as we possibly can, but there has to be an element of trust, because surprises happen, and if we don't welcome them, boy oh boy, we're going to be in for some battles, right? We're going to be like, no, and then have a little bit of a fight, and that's never fun, and it takes up too much energy.
Nope, it's never fun. But when you know that you're on your path, and you know, because it feels right, it feels in alignment. And when you know that, the trust comes easy. It's like, I don't know where you're leading me, but I know I'm supposed to be going. So just let me open up to whatever might come forward. And it's been a beautiful journey, and I know it will continue to get better and better every day. So, yeah, if it was hard, if I was struggling and was going without meals or a bed to sleep in or something like that, I would be looking at it again and saying, I don't think I heard that message right. But every bit of this journey, I left on September the 11th, 2020.
Okay.
So I've been on the road for, I think that's 5 months. September, October,
January.
Yes, I've been on the road for 5 months.
Yes.
And that's almost half a year on the road.
During this time.
Yeah. Well, that was the conversation I had with the angels. I was like, you all do know there's a pandemic right now, right?
And they're like, nah, we're above that.
I know. They're like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. And sorry, Teri, I'm going to do this because I have to pull the host thing on this. I do have a question for you. It's a question that a lot of people will ask me, is anticipating, not happily, but anticipating some negative outcomes or some challenging times. That's a better way to say that. Anticipating some challenging times. How do we hold that trust and joy and happy hour? Because it's just in me, it's just in you, but there is a reason why it's in us. So I have to turn this and ask you, like, you're on the road 5 months. How do you are anticipating some challenges, I'm sure. How is your head being held high?
Yeah. The challenges that, well, I anticipated from the very beginning, weather, because, you know, I don't do well driving in the rain. And that was one thing I asked the angels. I'm like, all right, I'm doing this. I'm by myself. And you know that I don't do well driving in the rain. And there's only been one time that it's been like nerve-wracking. I was like, just get me through this. I'll pull over, I promise. But I think it's that confidence that I'm listening. Listening is so important. And when I sit in my meditation time and I ask them, this is what I'm supposed to do, right? Because I've heard for years now to do, I didn't know what it looked like, to do where I was going, the journey. And it was always never the right time. They would be like, no, this isn't it. Just wait, though. They taught me patience for like 3 years. They're like, just wait, it's coming. And I could anticipate it. So when I heard to go this past year, I was like, that's when I argued with them. Are you sure? Like,
you're like, of all the years?
I'm like, last year would have been a lot better. You know?
Yeah.
But when we have that confidence that the answers we're getting are from spirit, then that's when the trust is so easy. It's so easy. If I had any doubt at all that what I was doing was me, it was me deciding, I'm going to go do this, you know, I would be doubting everything. I would be insecure. I wouldn't know, you know, the direction to even head in. But I've been listening to them this whole 5 months, every bit of the way. They tell me when to pack up and move on to the next place. They put people in my route that I'm supposed to be with at a certain time. They put me in the places I'm supposed to be with to help someone maybe get through a difficult time. When I was in Colorado, I didn't understand why I was staying there so long. I'm like, I think I'm supposed to be going further west, guys. You know, like, I don't know. I think I'm supposed to be getting out of here. And then the next thing I know, Ruth's mom got COVID and eventually passed from it over the next few weeks. I was supposed to be there for support to help her through that moment. It's like that's happened all across the journey. I was supposed to be in certain places for certain things to minister and be of service. And you can't make that stuff up, Lisa. You can't say, all right, at this time of the year, I'm going to be with Ruth because she's going to need me. It was just like they put me right where I needed to be and kept me there until my job was done, you know, and then I could move on.
And it also, at that time, you weren't in your back of your mind thinking, oh, I wish this didn't happen. What bad timing. I need to be elsewhere. I can feel that from you. I finally got, not the finally, 2007, I was able to take a trip that I had been planning my life, entire life. I was very anticipating going to Arizona to visit where they had passed where my grandparents lived. And I went with a very good, close friend. And while we were down there, one of her sister-in-laws, passed. And we spent the next 2 days in grieving and mourning and in comfort and in watching movies, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm in Arizona, but I'm totally okay that I'm here with my friend, offering my support and my heart. And it actually was even more special that I was in a place that mattered to me. Even though I wasn't in it, I was still there. So sometimes we hold at the beginning, we may hold an attachment to the destination, the purpose, but it actually isn't that, is it? It's about showing up. It's about, you're here. Here you are. Here's happy hour.
That's it, and it's so beautiful to see the whole thing play out. It's like when I sit back and I really look at it, I'm like, oh my gosh, they had this thing all planned. I wasn't in on that memo, but they had it all planned out. All I had to do was show up. And that's a huge message that I think everyone needs to really hear those words. When we're in alignment with what we're doing, when our path is there and everything is falling into place for us, all you have to do is show up. You don't have to sit down and say, I'm going to go here and then here and then here. I'm going to do that and that. It's going to come. Know with confidence, have that trust that it's being worked out for you. If you're in alignment, just show up. And the angels, your spirit guides, God, it all comes into place. And I'm living that. I am living proof that, I couldn't have planned this any better if I had done it. It probably would have gone really haywire if I planned it. But all I did was show up. All I did was say yes. And when we say yes, the universe responds. And they're like, okay, you're open, you're receptive. Let's see how far we can take you.
Yes. What's really interesting when you think about that is that it's the saying yes that has to precede the directions. It's like, oh, no, we're not giving you the directions until you say yes. And then when you do say yes, then people show up to help you with strategies, mapping out things or directions. But when you say yes with confidence, I think that it's the confident yes that allows you access to that, because it helps highlight and share with the beings that you are in alignment, that you are ready, that you're okay. I'm ready no matter what. And now I can have it. All right. Let me see the directions.
Exactly. And the other part of that is to listen to your spirit guides and your angels, whoever it is you tune into the most. Listen to them, because your family, your friends, they're going to try to influence you and say, are you sure? Because that happened to me. They're like, are you sure this really isn't a good time for you to be doing this? And you're all alone and you're going to be traveling by yourself. So there was all of that chatter going on. And I had already said my yes, and I'd heard the message loud and clear that it was time to go. So that's important, I think, for us to remember that we need to listen to spirit more than we listen to well-intentioned friends and family that, they care about us, but there's an element of fear if they're looking at it from the human standpoint. And I have said this before, if I were to look at what I'm doing strictly from the human standpoint, I'd be scared to death. I'd be like, what are you talking about? I'm out here in a car all by myself and traveling around the country, with no one to help drive or talk to or anything else while I'm on the road. So it's important to listen to that guidance inside and know that if you're receiving that and you feel in alignment with it, then say your yes and go forward and you'll receive that blessing. It is a blessing. I'm blessed every day with going through this journey. So I encourage everyone to listen to your guidance, show up, say your yes, and life is beautiful.
Teri, I have to ask you, when you were saying yes to going on the road and traveling, was it your desire or calling to just meet with people around the world to connect? Or was there, I'm going to go for this long, I'm going to have this message exactly to share, and this is the outcome I'm hoping for? Did you have any of that?
I knew that I was going to be talking about peace. I am a peace ambassador, and so that's been on my heart many, many years, to see peace in the world. That's my morning rising prayer and my evening going to sleep prayer, is to bring in peace on the earth and to do something. Peace is an action. It's an action. Love is an action. We can't just sit on the sidelines and wait for other people to do the action. If we want to see a change, if we want to see more people hearing the message, we have to speak. If we want to show them what it looks like, we have to act. So that was my desire, was to share the peace in the world. And the angels just kind of put this all together so that could happen, and showed it to me. They named it. They told me to call it the Peace on Earth Tour. And I'm like, okay, I like that. And they put people in place to host me, that will have me in their homes, for ever how long I stay there. And some of them try to tie me up and keep me there. I'm like, no, I gotta go. Lovingly, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was already, that was my main mission in life anyway, was bringing more peace into the world and sharing more love and joy. So of course it was a peace tour. What else would it be, And I didn't know what it looked like. I really didn't. They worked out all the details. And every time I would get a message, I'd write it down, and I'm going, hey, that sounds pretty good.
That's great.
How do we do that, angels?
Well, you do.
And in fact, the land blessings that I do, that was like totally, I didn't know anything about it until I was getting ready. I was at the point of loading up the car, and I had been giving away my gemstones because I had like a whole huge amount of gemstones, and they made me stop giving them away, and I didn't know why. And then as I headed out, I heard to start doing land blessings. And I'm going, what the heck's a land blessing? What do you want me to do? So they worked all of that out, all the details, and showed me exactly what to do. So it's been coming together. As it goes, it grows. And every time that I'm somewhere, something new and different is added to it. And it's the most beautiful journey that I couldn't have put it together, but it's the most beautiful journey about peace that I've seen with my own eyes in this lifetime.
It's like when you say that, it reminds me of like partnership and peace, and it is a partnership, and it's a beautiful feeling, because to go at anything alone, then you really have to have that snowball effect. You really have to have that confidence, and I'm going to do this, and it's almost rebellious, as if to say a challenge, but that's not fun. None of that feels that good. But when you say, all right, I'm here. And so for me, what peace on earth, gosh, I never thought about this before. I don't even want to ask myself that question right now.
Let's ask it.
I want to ask you first now. What peace on earth? You know what? I have I think I was just told, peace on earth actually to me is for everybody to live in the present moment in love.
Yes.
And
exactly.
Mic drop almost,
That's it. That's it in a nutshell. And just seeing each other, truly seeing, acknowledging each other, acknowledging that, we're all in this together. I love the quote from Ram Dass, we're all walking each other home. And when we can look at it that way, we know that we're not alone in this journey. And we're here for a purpose, to uplift each other, to see each other, see that light in each other. I love that word namaste, because it really does sum it up, that I'm looking at you and I'm seeing that same light that I have inside of me.
Yes.
And to me, when we can all get to that point of just being peaceful inside and then seeing that light in everyone else, we're going to bring in peace on earth. And I have no doubt. I'm very confident about it.
Yes, I love your confidence, and it's an assurance. It's the need, and as everybody wakes up and they have their life, their 3D life that they have to engage engage with. That's the best word. They're not confronting, they're not holding off, they're not, well, hopefully they're embracing, but that you are engaging with, is it brings with it all sorts of experiences that we get to say, we've already said yes to, because that's why the experience is presenting itself, right?
Right.
And then, so, okay,
Yes.
we've said yes, we've got the willingness, and now it's, how do I proceed, which makes me feel the most at peace, the most where I'm not fighting it or regretting it or challenged by it or hurt by it. Because I think, I'll wake up and I'll be happy or whatever and do my thing. And then little things show up, little things like, right. I got a new electric kettle, which I've never thought I'd use a digital kettle in my life. And I'm like, oh, it won't boil. How do I? Well, then I'll just get a pot of water and put it on the stove, and I'm back to the basics. And
You adjust. Yeah.
right. We have to be able to trust in ourselves that if we don't like it this way, let's try at it this way. Let's try the way that we feel most loved, and
Yeah.
and just flow with that. It will happen.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh, Lisa, I can't tell you how much I love you. I just think you are so amazing. And I want everyone that tunes in to Gratitude Happy Hour to know how grateful I am for you. But also, just I want you to share some of you with us. I've been watching you. I've been stalking you, girl, and I love what I've seen. I love this new program that you're doing here at Enlightened World Network, and I'd love for you to share what that is.
Well, thank you so much. And since Tomas has been on your show, like there's just been so many. Honestly, this network, I have to say, is that Dating Your Diet, which is the show that I've launched, I'm a nutritionist, has been something in my world for over 15 years. But there was an element and I don't know how to say this, Teri. It's that it was missing spirituality, and I wanted it there, but I didn't know how to put it in there. And so I thought, okay, well, how the heck do you do this? So I was waiting. And then when Ruth, showed up in my world through GP Walsh, I thought, oh, I think this is it. This is it. And so I got a little excited, a little like, when you've been asked out on a date, so to speak, because you're dating your diet.
Right.
And I knew it was the home, because as we all walk ourselves home and we walk others home, we find that spirituality isn't like this different outfit that you pick out of the closet every once in a while. It is your skin. It's you. It's there. And we can cover it up. We can put another outfit on, but I really wanted to partner it. I wanted to marry that. And so, you know what, as a nutritionist and dating your diet, falling in love with the right food for you, it's about love. It's about respect. It's about appreciation. It is about gratitude, because we're here with gratitude, which I was so excited to say about that. But so to launch the show, Dating Your Diet, after so long that just kind of been holding on to it, like it's not ready yet to be a show. It was really heartwarming to launch that on Sunday on Valentine's Day. And so excited I get so excited that I say so much and I think, oh my gosh, I don't want to overwhelm people.
Well, I did watch it and I was just amazed and I loved every moment of it. You are wonderful. And I love the excitement. Yeah, never apologize for being excited, because we get caught up in that excitement. You get us excited too. That's the thing with vibration. When we feel that high vibration, it's like, oh, I want to do that too. I want to vibe like that.
You do.
I want to vibe like Lisa.
I'll share with you this. So I have these two kitty cats. They're little Bengals, and they require, by their, every animal deserves this beautiful, and not as it deserves. They need this love and affection. And little Bengals you have to stimulate them more and interact with them more. So I'm a talker, if anybody hasn't noticed. And I talk to them all the time, and I use different pitches and different things, and they respond differently, and I can get them excited, and then we calm down. I'm like, Mama's going to go on air now. So, right. Of course, they never listen, by the way. That's when they get the most excited. And it is this energy that you create, because as I'm sharing my appreciation with them or with the viewers or listeners, it makes me laugh. It honestly, people tuning in, when I read their comments, it makes it opens my heart, and I get so excited over the connection. So whether it's with food, because I know I'm appreciating the nutrients that I'm getting, I know I'm going to be able to, like, do a little, twinkle inside my body and convert it to energy, then I can share it with someone else. And I can also recognize in another when they have not yet learned how to open up to nutrients, to life force, to joy, and what it comes across as, to me, is sadness and uncertainty. And it's not so much lack, but they're putting their hand up almost to say, please include me. I need love so much. Please, if you could just show me, because I have it and I just don't know how to let it shine. Right. And that's a big message to hear.
It sure is.
And to want to respond. I know that you, Teri, like that's why you're doing your tour. You're hearing the people say, I need this. I really, please come visit me. Please come to my spot and bring this joy. And what a gift for it is to any of us to hear that with our ears, our hearts, intuitively, wherever someone's hearing that, and to be able to respond effortlessly and to say, let's celebrate. Let's be joyful. Let's appreciate together.
Right. And, when we're talking about nutrition, I think it's important to bring out also to be a little lenient with yourself. Sometimes we're so focused on, I can't have that, or I can only have so much of this. We put those limits. I think it's important to bring out, at least for me, that every so often have that little treat that you want so bad, or that just is sitting there in front of you, and you're sitting there going, I really would love to have that, but I can't. And I think it's important to say, let's just lighten up a little bit, and watch what you're eating. Definitely watch that nutrition, but also it's okay to have a treat.
Yes. Okay, Teri, I'm bursting right now. So this morning I got a message, and the message was lighten up. You just said it. You just said that. It was so funny. And at times, and what's so funny is I'll do, say I do something that I'm trying to think of something now. Like, I do not avoid gluten. I'm not a gluten-free person because I don't have an issue. I'm healthy and I'm good and I can handle it. So therefore I love bread. So I eat some. And then sometimes I think, I shouldn't have done that. And I'm like, why am I already punishing myself for something I don't even have an issue with? And then I have this guilt come up, and and I think, no. So it's the moments that I actually have a little conversation with myself before, and I say, Lisa, this piece of bread dipped in some balsamic vinegar and olive oil is going to be really good. And then I say, and it's okay. You're feeling great. Everything's functioning. You're doing well. Yes, enjoy it. It is though. It's not even permission. I want to go beyond permission. Teri, can we go beyond permission here? It's
Absolutely.
More than permission. It's acceptance. It's self-love. It's carefreeness. It's love. I said that love. I said love twice, but it really is that. And those are the times that it doesn't bother me at all. It's the moment I place a restriction or a judgment. Oh, that's it. It's when I put that shame, blame, or judgment on myself. I'm going to wake up now. I suddenly have an issue. I was like, what? I don't have an issue with this, but I do. Why? It's the resistance and the punishment and the lack of happy hour that I have now placed on myself. And I'm feeling like I just got my hand slapped by somebody I loved. And I was like, why did you do that?
Yeah, exactly. And I think our body will respond if we're doing it with love and with no judgment, whatever it is that we're treating ourselves with. And I'm not talking about sitting and eating a whole pie, right. That's kind of crazy. But if you want to have one little bite of chocolate, go for it. That's what I say is it's like, it's not going to be the end of the world, and everything in moderation. So if you want to have that little treat, have the little treat guilt-free.
Yes.
And in fact, there are some nutritionists that tell you it's really good to break up what you're doing and have that day that you can just, have those treats that you want, that it will make a difference in how
There's
your body is processing those nutrients that you are having.
Yes, there's actually a word switch, a word change that I would love to invite everybody to try out. A lot of people will call it a cheat day, like a cheat
Mhm.
day, treat day. So treat
Right.
tells you that you're being rewarded for punishing yourself all week, or a cheat day says that you've been committed and in love with this one thing, but now you're going to cheat on it. So I've actually removed both of those words from my languaging, and I call it an exception. It's not every day. It's it's an exception. It's an exception to what I normally do. It's a little bit different. It's a little bit out of the box. And so when we switch it, it is the amount of love that I know it sounds weird that I'm so harsh on words, but it's not about the words. It's about the emotions and whether it's elevating you or not. Like when you say it's the Peace on World tour, that's big. That's big to me. It's expansive. It's inclusive. There's nobody that you have eliminated. I love this. And in our own worlds, have the peace in your own, everywhere in your world, even if it's a boundary or standard, just have it be said with love. Have it be set your boundaries with love is what I'm trying to say.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Always bringing in the love, because love really is all there is. And if we go into anything other than that, like the judgment, the guilt, the blame, like you were saying, we're not in our hearts. We're not staying in that pure state of love. We're just putting too many limits on ourselves by doing that.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I love this conversation and I love that word. It's an exception. I'm going to start using that now, because I did have something that I wanted last night, and I hadn't had this in probably 3 years now.
What was it? Oh
And
my gosh.
it was pizza.
I thought you were going to say key lime pie, but you said okay.
Just pizza, plain, and I had a little slice of pizza and I did not feel guilty. And I thought, this really feels good. And in the past, if I had pizza, like I would eat, of course, more than one of those little pieces. And then I would have the digestion problems and, the upset stomach, because all of that just wouldn't agree with me. But I think because I did it without guilt, and I said, I am just going to do this because I want that right now.
Yes.
I could have just eaten the salad that was on the table. I could have been okay with that. But I really wanted to have the pizza, and I did. And I felt good. And I did not have an upset stomach. I did not have any problems at all digesting it, because I think I did it with love for myself, and saying, it's okay. It's okay. Lighten up.
Lighten up.
You don't do this every day. It's like I don't do it every day.
Right.
3 years is a long time to go without pizza, Lisa.
I would agree. I do not do that. But you know what? There's also, I love that you said that, because I always try to tell people, this is my analogy, and I don't know if this is popular worldwide, but there's a show, it was a long, long time ago, but Little House on the Prairie. And
Yes.
it's an emotional show. It chokes you up. And I would be eating my dinner cereal or something, and this emotional event would happen on Little House on the Prairie. And I couldn't swallow. I would okay, so my body was trying to tell me, when you're emotional like this, you can't swallow. Why? Because, guess what? My digestive juices aren't ready. My stomach's not ready. So what happens if I put this food into my belly that is expecting hydrochloric acid to break it down? It's not there. So then I might have some heartburn, or, okay, let's push it further. It might go into my small intestines, where carbohydrates are broken down, which is pizza, which is gluten, gluten's a protein. But then it's like, but you weren't ready to break it down there either. So basically, has anyone ever had somebody stop by their house to visit when you weren't ready, and your house was a disaster, and your bathroom wasn't clean, and you didn't have the dishes done or the tea on, kettle on? That is what that's like. So if you are causing yourself regret, shame, blame when you're trying to eat, that's like having company when you're not ready, or watching Little House on the Prairie and trying to swallow food when you're emotionally upset. so,
I I love that teaching. That's awesome. Yeah, for me, it just clicked last night. Like, I don't feel guilty. And normally it was like anything outside of that parameters of the diet, I still call it a diet. I'm old school.
That's okay. Yes. Dating your
Anything
diet.
outside of the parameters, yeah, I would feel totally guilty about. Or I'd just be sitting there going, oh, it's okay. You all go ahead and eat it. I'm just going to sit here and
Exclusion.
wish that I could have some.
And do you see what that was like? A lot of people will do that, which is fine. If you've made a decision, maybe you're doing intermittent fasting, maybe you're doing whichever you're doing. But if you're doing it out of exclusion, right? Everybody else, you go ahead. I'm excluding myself because I'm too fat. I shouldn't have it. I'm unhealthy. I'm too sick. And if I eat that, there's a separation that is heartbreaking. And when our heart is broken, for those, no, if it's like, oh, no, you guys go ahead. I'm filled up. I feel satisfied. I'm good. I'm without, that's a different kind of thing. But what you were just demonstrating is what so many people do out of separation. And that is the loneliest, not peace on earth feeling ever.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
It changes us.
So it changes us totally. Yes.
We are so magical that we have this pharmacy that we actually build the same hormones, and I just mean female hormones, but hormones that we go to a store for over-the-counter products, for painkillers, for numbing things, for blood sugar leveling things. And I'm not saying that any of those are not helpful at times, but in a chronic situation, in a I want to heal this and move forward with this, we can do anything. We can do everything. And it does come from love. It will do damage if we come from hate, separation, judgment, and it will be as powerful in our health and mindset and body. But if we can come from love, like that pharmacy, like that's the pharmacy you want to visit. Pharmacy love.
Right, exactly. And I do want to bring up one of the comments because I know this situation. And Christina shares, because it can be dangerous for me to make exceptions, I've had to change my emotional attachments and made my way of eating a good thing and not a bad thing. So I understand there are people with certain medical conditions, diabetes being one, and that might be very detrimental for somebody to have a slice of pizza, a piece of chocolate, whatever that is. And I love that Christina has taught herself, what to do in those cases to change her emotional attachment to that food. And I love that, Christina. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Yes, that was brilliant, actually. And I love it. Yes, she's bang on, because it's not to say ignore what is going to be beneficial to your physical body. It is exactly what she said. Looking at it as say was, okay, I'm in this situation. How can I not judge myself still? How can I not make myself feel punished? There we go. It's the punishment. And to say, I am so excited to be in a place where I'm able to repair my cells, to have a conversation and a communication with my body, and to be very understanding and supportive, to say, you know what? Pizza's not for me today this way. There's other ways of making different pizza, by the way, which I will be sharing on the show. Because I noticed that I am not an actual pizza person, like, ordering like a pizza, but I can definitely mimic it and make it in a way that I actually am more excited to eat. And that's the thing, is like, so I wouldn't be open to creating those opportunities and possibilities if I was like, no, I can't have it. Well, then I'm not having anything. Or poor me, I can't have it. She's really done her beautiful heart work and saying,
yes, she has.
Yeah, thank you for sharing.
And she's also streaming us live on the big screen virtual reality, which I don't know anything about that, but it sounds amazing.
I love it too. Oh,
we like being on the big screen.
Does she have us with glasses or something like that? Like, are we like in virtual? Can you imagine us life size?
I'm going to have her on, I think, and find out more about this.
Yes, please. I would love to mention that as an important thing. In my lifetime background, my mother, who is now past 2013, my entire life, she was extremely ill. Her life, she was extremely ill. And in witnessing and watching her, on one hand, there was a lot of suffering, like, oh, I can't have that now. And, oh, I can't have this now. And I'm allergic to this. And in my childlike confusion at the time, going, well, wait a second, why can't you have a blueberry that's healthy, but you can eat Kentucky Fried Chicken, or a fried, like a takeout. I'm in Canada, so I know that everybody's watching from different around the world. So like a takeout kind of deep fried chicken. And it was like, I was like, well, because you just want it. So you just want to eat that. So you can eat that bad thing, but you don't want the healthy stuff, and you're rebelling. And it was this, I really had to understand the relationship between health, happiness, self-love, self-valuing. Did she feel, you know what, in the end, near the end, as a woman, I became a woman. I was a child at the time. I learned that there wasn't enough money to eat a lot of fresh fruits and vegetables. There was a message that said to her, we don't have the money. I'll be taking away from the children and the family. My health doesn't deserve this, but this cheaper, more cost effective, we'll call it, food that can stretch further, I'll go without. And and there was this belief about it. And when we marry our beliefs, when we understand the language, our love language with food and with life, our choices, right? There's a language that we dance with our choices. And if you are never happy or feel at choice point out of love and respect, and you're at choice point out of victim, hurt, anger, blame, shame, all those things, there's such a different physiological thing that happens. And our bodies are literally created that way. Each cell in our body is now born of that. And it's important to, how can the angels talk to us? They can, of course, but meaning it's hard to hear them. When you mentioned, Teri, about listening, if you hated yourself, could you hear the angels?
No.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. And if you're doubting all the time, is that the angels? Is that me? Is that ego? Then you get just totally wrapped up in that spin of confusion and chaos. So it's best to just, what I call, pause. Just pause, go into your heart, and your heart will never lie to you. So ask from your heart, is this coming from a higher source? Is this me just, making this up and saying, I'm supposed to go do this? Or, just really get some clarity. When we go into our heart center, that's when we get the clarity. But if you're right, if we're in that low vibration of anger and hatred and, comparing, then we're not going to hear messages very clearly until we do step away, observe what's going on, ask inside. All the answers are inside of us. I love knowing that. I love that we come here into this world with all of the answers. And then we just spend a lifetime figuring it out.
Like all this stuff later on top.
Couldn't there be a better game plan than this? Wait a minute.
Well, what's really interesting is they say as you plant plants, as the stalk grows, it needs the wind to have a little bit of resistance. And I'm not saying hardship and all those beautiful things, but if we can at least look at it and go, if we didn't have gravity on this planet, my God, we would be a big puddle, right? We have to.
Oh, we certainly would. Wow. What a great discussion this has been today. And I just looked and saw how the time flew by for us.
The sun is going down and it's getting darker. And I thought, oh my gosh, it is already that late.
Yep. It really went by so fast. I want to thank everybody that tuned in. Tomas was here, and Tomas does a very beautiful show every day with the Course in Miracles. And I'm studying the Course in Miracles experiment, which is the same lesson every day that A Course in Miracles presents, but it's just a little bit of a different flair to the way it's presented. But Tomas has some really deep, interesting discussions and brings us some wonderful insight to A Course in Miracles. So tune into his show. It's at different times every day.
Yes.
So there's not a consistent time for it to show up. But just look at the schedule that's printed every morning on Enlightened World Network and EWN Enlightened Living. And you'll see when he's going to be on. And please tune in to Tomas. He's amazing.
Yes.
And we have some of our beautiful family here. We have Stacy, who's in the hospital recovering.
She's
Stacey,
watching from the hospital. Oh,
watching from the hospital. Stacy, I love you so much. And I think the last message I got from her was that they are keeping her again tonight. So Stacy, get all strong and well, and we'll see you out of there really soon. I know that.
yes.
I know it for sure. And
She was on the hunt
Charlie-
for some good kefir, some coconut water kefir. We were like trying to get the right one for her.
Yes, all of that good stuff. It's going to be important now for your recovery. Charlie and Erica are here. Hi, guys. Suzanne in Pennsylvania. Christine O'Rourke in the UK.
Hello.
Let's see, who did I leave out? I mentioned Christina. Isabel in Florida. Hope in the UK. We just had a global viewing today. Thank you all for showing up.
On world, on Earth. It's the entire Earth.
The entire Earth. Yeah. And I'm so happy that you all showed up. And Tammy Fisk just came in. Hello, darling. Oh, this was awesome today. And I hope you all loved Lisa as much as I do. I just really am thrilled that you are a part of Enlightened World now and will be with us regularly.
I feel
So
so
share with us again, please, when your show is on. And is it going to be on one channel or both channels, or do you know?
I believe I'm on the Enlightened Living, which I thought was so fitting because every time I create a business or something, it has the word living in it, which I thought was great. So Enlightened Living, and it's nutrition based. It's health and nutrition based. It's understanding the relationship you have with your food. It's falling in love with the right food for you because you are going to date your diet. It's dating your diet with me on Thursdays at 10 a.m. Eastern time.
Awesome. Awesome. And Christina says, thanks, ladies. I'm going to try and restream the meditations a day later as well. Awesome. So she's figuring out all that virtual reality stuff, and she's going to have to share some information with us, I think, so we can understand it more. All I know is that it's getting out to more people, and that's what's important. Getting the message out there of love and light. That's why we're here. Us light workers are here to shine. And the more we can do that, the better the world will be for having our light in it. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Stay beautiful, stay in your heart, and just do amazing things by showing up, like we talked about earlier. That's all you have to do. Just show up. Don't stress about the details. You know, my friend Karen Palmer, I was with her over the weekend, and she has this saying that I absolutely love, and I use it all the time. Don't worry about the how, get ready for the wow. So when we lose that having to know all of the details, then the miracles start coming into us.
They do. They're everywhere. Thank you so much, Teri.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being here with me.
Thank you, Lisa. Oh my gosh, you're just totally amazing. And I'm so excited to get to have more of you in my life. So thank you, my darling. And any last words that you want to share with our audience before we leave?
It's just a simple one. It is about showing up. As you can see, the sun has set. I'm now almost in the complete dark here. But I just said, you know what? It is about showing, bring your best light. And if you can't shine, that's okay. Somebody else will help you shine. Just trust in those wings. That was from your song, your beautiful song that I love that you played at the beginning. Trust in your wings. And even if you can't maybe manage one and you've got a broken one, somebody will be there to help you. I know this and I promise you that. Thank you so much, Teri. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Lisa. And I end all my shows with that word that I mentioned earlier, the word that says, that light that's in you, I see it, I acknowledge it, I respect it and honor it, and I love it. And that word is namaste. So I always, at the end of everything that I do, I say namaste, y'all. So can we say that together, Lisa?
Yes.
Okay.
Namaste,
Namaste, y'all.
y'all.
Stay blessed, everyone. I love you so much, and I'll see you later. Bye.